Here we are in WeVideo getting ready to record a podcast or maybe an audio narrative. And to get started, you're going to select the blank edit. It'll save to your projects. And this is the WeVideo interface. I'm just going to show you just a few features. The 3 lines are the menu where you can start a new edit. You can open your recently started projects. You can save, which you're definitely going to want to do. This is under the Starred tab. It's mostly for video, but you may use it for some of your audio work too. WeVideo defaults to 3 audio and video tracks, so if you've worked with any editing tool before, you may be familiar with this. If we actually don't need both video tracks, you have to have one in WeVideo, but we can get rid of the others, so you can press the delete track here. You can get further into the tracks and have more options by going under the menu option. You can see what options it has here, but you can also delete. You might want to mute a track at some point if you want to see exactly where you're working with the track. And then we're going to want to add at least one more track here. So we're going to go ahead and do the plus. And it's not going to be a video track. It's going to actually be our second audio track. Once we have these 2 audio tracks, it might be helpful to name them. So one may be background music, and one may be sound effects. That might be helpful. Okay, and then if we move from the Star tab to the Media tab, that's going to be a helpful place to be. Here we can import media, which we may want to import specific sound effects potentially. Here we can open the video or screen recorder if we needed to, which I don't think we will for this project. And here's the microphone, which you're definitely going to need. We won't need to name anything or create text boxes since we're not going to be doing video, but we will definitely need these audio files. So under the audio tab, you will use the music and the sound effects most likely. And then these are transitions and graphics if you are doing video. So I'm going to go back over to the media file. And actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and start with the audio file. And I'm going to find a background music for my story. I'm just going to read part of 7th grade just for a little introduction. So you can click on any of the media to listen to it and preview it. That's nice. I'm starting and stopping it just with my space bar. I definitely like that one. So to select that, I can just actually drag that down. So I'm going to drag that clip down to my background music. So that's pretty loud. I can actually change the volume. I can do a couple ways. I can actually click on this magic wand, and that's going to allow me to fade it in and out. I can reduce it this way. And that would give me some controls over it, but what I usually end up doing is I grab this bar. So once I've highlighted, see, I'm not using the track now, it's not highlighted in orange. Once I highlight that track in orange, it gives me the option to work with the volume controls within the track. So I can now pull down with that knob, I can pull this down all the way, and I'm going to pull it down to 20%. That's where I'm going to try to go. There we go. And then I can just click and I can add knobs. I'm not sure if they're called knobs, but that's what I call them, along the way. Because when I make my little introduction, I'm going to want that music. I'm going to want to be able to hear my voice over that music. And we can go further out. Okay. So I'm going to leave that there. So I have the music down much further now. So you can probably hear the difference. So I have selected some background music, and I'm going to hop back over now to the media. And now I have access to that microphone. And I'm going to just record first just my introduction. And I'm going to read 7th grade, so I'm just going to introduce myself and say that I'm reading 7th grade. And I get this screen where I'm going to press the microphone again, and this is going to be the stop. It's okay. Hi, this is Lisa Gardino, and I am reading 7th grade by Gary Soto. Stop, and I could either delete that, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that's okay. It's saving to the server. And then if you scroll down, I now have my introduction on a voiceover track at the bottom. Hi, this is Lisa Gardino, and I am reading 7th grade by Gary Soto. So you can see this track is down here. If I selected that track and I head on over to this bottom right hand corner, I can pull this track out a little bit, and now you can see where I didn't start quite at the very beginning. I could pull this about right here, and I can click on the scissors and cut that, and I could select that and press delete, and I could actually get rid of that track. And I could see if I really needed this whole hesitation or this pause at the beginning. And I probably don't need that whole pause. I can actually bring that track up, not make my audience wait quite so long. Hi, this is Lisa Gardino, and I am reading 7th grade by Gary Soto. And if you notice, when you hear other people start reading, they actually start getting, the music starts getting louder and a little bit louder and then louder. So this is why it might have been good. I was kind of demoing probably a little bit too early. And then I would pull it actually probably all the way down here, so when I started reading, you could actually hear my voice. And this is actually like a 2-hour clip, this background music, and I'm not going to need all of that. So I'm going to actually pull this back so I can actually see all of that. And I'm going to pull this here because I don't need all of that music. And I'm going to delete most of that music. I don't think I need all of that. Okay, now I'm going to read just the beginning of 7th grade to give you an idea of how I might blend some of that. On the first day of school, Victor stood in line half an hour before he came to the wobbly card table. He was handed a packet of papers and a computer card on which he listed his one elective, French. He already spoke Spanish and English, but he thought someday he might like to travel to France, where it was cool, not like Fresno, where the summer days reached 110 degrees in the shade. There were rivers in France, and huge churches, and fair-skinned people everywhere, the way there are brown people all around Victor. Okay, so now that I have these 2 clips, I'm not sure if you noticed, but those 2 clips, my 2 voiceovers, they were populating up here. So what I can do is I can right click, and I can rename them. Introduction, and rename 7th grade 1. And let's see how that sounds. On the first day of, and so that was probably too long of a pause. I would probably go back and pull that in together. But other than that, the timing and the volume probably sounded pretty good. But that was probably too long of a pause right there in between. Now, I don't know if you remember also, but there was that bell in 7th grade. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I might add that in to I'll go ahead and add it like right here just to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go back to my sound effects, and WeVideo actually has quite a few sound effects. And under effects, they actually do have a school bell, which is kind of cool. So I can drag that down, and you can see this bell is way too long. So I'm going to actually just cut it right short here. I'm going to cut it there. Oops, I didn't want to cut all of that. Didn't mean to do that. But oh well. There's probably a way to put that back together. And I'm going to have that bell play our table right here in the background. So I'm going to, it seems like there's a way that you can pull the whole thing down at once, but I'm not finding that way right at this moment. But I'm pretty sure you can pull the whole bar down at once, so you should definitely give that a try. Card table. He was handed a pack. So that might be a way. I'd probably taper that off. Card table. He was handed. And if you were to select that, I think it would give you an option too it's here to fade in and out. You could definitely fade in and out by just right-clicking on it and getting the menu option. When you are done, if I was completely done and ready to finish off, if this was done and at the end I did a nice tailoring, so my voice faded out or the music faded out, something like that, then I would be ready to finish. And to finish, you press finish. We're going to have a title. And then we're going to select audio. We're going to have it go to our drive, and it's going to go export. And it's actually, this one's not going to take long because it's so short, but it might take anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes, and you don't have to stay in WeVideo. It'll just go. So if it's the end of class, just go ahead and have it go. You will then find a WeVideo folder in your Google Drive with all of your projects. So make sure that you go ahead and do that. Go ahead and go to your Google Drive and find your project. Thanks.